Life doesn't happen to you. Me, again, folks, I'm seeing a lot of you asking questions about whether something is going to happen to you or not. You ask if you're going to get married or married again. Do you want to get married again? It's up to you. What do you want to create? You need to put yourself in the driver's seat of your own life, because if you're not, then who is? This indicates you're disconnected from your soul, by the way. Nothing happens to you. You create it. I can save you some money right now if you would embrace that idea. Because it's true. Even now. The trick is to learn to do it consciously. I am learning to use my mind to influence things in my life. For example, when I go to parking lots, if the parking spot in front of my car is occupied, I say that that parking spot will be empty when I come back from shopping so I can pull through to get out. And pretty much every time it works. I just did it again today. Another thing I've said is that whenever I get into my car, someone will either be in or come to their car in one of the adjacent spots to mine. It happens all the time. You command your space, folks. This is universal law. You're all alchemists. Taking a passive approach to life gets you nowhere and nets you nothing. Life doesn't happen to you. At my house, so many people were parking my car in because my car is in a spot among 4 other adjacent parking spots, so for some reason, people would pull their cars alongside this spot and either use their cell phones, deliver a package, or unload furniture. I would keep telling them to move their cars because they were parking me in. They would say they were only going to be there for a minute, which isn't the point. They're not supposed to park there in the first place. I got tired of having this argument. What I decided to do was to command my space and assert my creative right to have the spot at the end of my driveway left vacant at all times. So far, it's working. Nobody has parked me in, but one car did pull up ahead to adjacent the green boulevard this morning, which is what I want to create. We create our reality. All of it? Or it's co-created with others. I have instructed clouds and chemtrails to move aside so I could have some sunshine. I have healed trees that were dying. I can drive up my book sales by just focusing on them. I enthusiastically see more and more of them being sold, and guess what? It works. Your mind is your greatest tool. You need to start using it consciously. Me, Ivo, is there something they can start with that's small, just so they can see? Ivo, perhaps, my love, they can start with the parking spot scenario. Pulling through and driving out is the best way to do this. Another thing you might want to practice is making all the lights green when you get to them. Me, oh yeah. That's what Saint Germain was doing that time he took a ride in the back of my car. Ivo, another thing you can try is to turn the volume of your music down without touching the dial or the button on your steering wheel. Simply try it, my love. Me, I keep turning it up, Ivo. Ivo, I realize that, my love, then turn it up louder if you wish. You turn your music down to 10 when you park your car at night. Me, not 11 like Spinal Tap. LOL, that's just so I don't get blasted when I turn the car on. Ivo, you turn your music down to 10 when you park your car at night. Now get in the car, leave the volume knob alone, and focus on turning the volume up. You might notice at first it will jump perhaps erratically, but eventually you will be able to control the system without touching it. Me, I'm going to do that, Ivo. Thank you. I remember one story about a lady who had a quarter tank of gas, but she had a long ride to make and no money to gas up. But the tank stayed at 1/4 the entire time and she had enough gas to get there and return home. I love stories like that. Ivo, yes, this too is possible. Me, anyone who wants to know what the human mind can do, read about Saint Germain. He's unreal. He just creates constantly using his powerful mind. Me, what else can people do to prove the power of their minds? Ivo, if they seek a particular item at the store, and they cannot find that item, then simply focus on finding that item and let it go. Do not expect it to come to you immediately. This is your non-intuitive mind that demands this. Let it come to you when your frequency allows it to. Me, like my Rio, it took 18 years but I got exactly what I wanted. I hope with the newer energies things will go a bit faster. The salesmen were trying to upsell me on a Forte but I refused because it wasn't exactly what I wanted. And the car is 4 years old and has never given me a bit of a problem. I'm sure I've got the mechanical department in a tizzy because there's nothing to fix. If all their cars worked that well, they'd be out of a job. LOL. Ivo, yes. We must also discuss the time you were doing a meditation CD and you not only shut off your CD but you shut down your computer because you repetitively said you were bored and did not want to do it anymore. Technically you gave it the die command so it performed the electronic equivalent of a death. This is why you must be very careful about what you say and think about others. To the extent that you think negative thoughts of others, you limit your alchemical abilities. No ability is given to you if there is inclination for you to use it for negative ends. Eliminate negativity and watch your alchemical abilities flourish. Me, thanks, Ivo. I'm going to try turning the volume up and down. And I know you're going to love it when I can't do it because you hate my loud music. Ivo, I do not hate it, my love. It simply does not synchronize with my vibration. It is as if you were to come across a very toxic person and your inclination would be to cut the conversation off and run away. Me, speaking of which, I've got new neighbors. I've already sensed her and decided I don't want to have anything to do with her. I just have to try to keep my cat out of her apartment because that's my old place and he still thinks he has access to it. Ivo, this is another task you can set your mind to, keeping Merlin around your home and in his usual haunts, but out of her apartment. Me, I remember when he got into the basement and then went into Sam's apartment and ate the seafood he had hanging around. Sam was a restaurateur that wasn't storing his food according to Canadian standards, but my cat came out of there licking and smacking his lips with pleasure. Then I saw a box Sam had put in his garbage. It was rat poison because obviously he thought rats were in his basement. Again, folks, this is another one of these incidents of you see what you're supposed to see because your higher self is showing you. My higher self was showing me that Merlin's next trip into surf and turf heaven could get him poisoned, so I had to be absolutely sure that he never got into the basement of the old place again. And he didn't. So we can't emphasize this enough, folks. You create your life. You're in the driver's seat. If you're going to get married again, that's up to you. If you get that job, you'll probably know it when you're sitting there being interviewed. Have you ever had a job interview that was so bad you're sweating bullets, or even a good one but you just didn't come out thinking you got it? Then there's the one you sit down to and you just know, this one's mine, and you get it. You know way more than you think you do. You are capable of much more than you think you are. If you're still believing life happens to you, you're using your mind incorrectly.